Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hub2Connect Podcast. Today is a very special episode because I have invited my wife for the podcast. And we will have an exciting topic for you, which will be about investment in the UAE and company setup and what are the laws telling us from the beginning of this year. So let us all welcome Mersiha.
Thank you very much. Hi to all, and thank you very much. It is my pleasure to be your
You're
guest
welcome.
today and to be your wife, of course.
Thank you very much.
And of course, to support the Hub2Connect podcast. I'm Mersiha Lisica. I'm born in Bosnia and Herzegovina and a lawyer. I have master degree in international criminal law, and I'm member of Bar Association of Bosnia and Herzegovina. 16 years of legal affairs legal experience in the UAE. And I can say somehow proud on myself because of achievements I had in my life.
Tell me about the people who want to invest in the UAE. What are now, at this moment, the opportunities that are there for investors?
Now, especially now, there are a lot of opportunities in the UAE. I always say to people, grab it till you can do it, because but it looks like daily new opportunities are opening, and I'm like always trying to show parts of the economy of the UAE, like I can say UAE economy that they can participate in with their businesses. We have a lot of demand now and for investments in the UAE, and a lot of expats, they want to come here to invest and to live in the UAE. What is very important. Before, a lot of investors, they were investing in the UAE and they were living in their countries. But nowadays, they are opening their business and they are coming to live in the UAE, what is really very good.
And what made them? What is making them decide to come and live in UAE?
Usually, from I can say from the talk to my while I'm talking to my clients, they are saying that for them is mostly to decide to come here is a lifestyle and opportunities, not only for themselves. There are opportunities for their kids and their family.
And what are those opportunities?
First of all, that UAE is the safest country in the world and a place where they can see their families living like a normal life without turbulences and the things like they can expect and plan their businesses, and where their kids can grow in a safe environment, and especially environment that they provide good support for
Definitely. We know
youth
that the
and
UAE they have excellent facilities for children and for families with building all the malls, even during summer.
anyhow, we both of us we have that experience.
Yes, and even like during summer when the weathers are very hot, you still have places to be with your family. I mean, everything is air conditioned, and even in the malls, I mean, they are making excellent
Entertainment
facilities,
for
entertainment
kids,
and entertainment
for
kids.
adults, for
Yeah.
anyone who wants to stay here during the summer. Usually, and I'm just talking about like investors. They plan when they plan during the summer, they are visiting their countries. But we can see also a lot of expats during the summer in the UAE. Actually, my clients are mostly from Europe, from European countries, and they love living here. They have a sea in front of them, like in front of their houses, close to there. Because some countries they just can't dream there about the seaside, and only during the summer they go to to the beaches and all these
You
things.
know, see, I can tell you from my perspective, because we are most of the time, spending in the UAE, sometimes in Bosnia, sometimes in Serbia.
Yes, I know.
See, when I'm staying for a longer period in the UAE, I always say, I miss the nature in Bosnia. I want to go there, and the nice, cool weather and so on. And then we go to Bosnia. But after a couple of months, then I say, oh my God, I missed the UAE. I miss the desert. I miss that hot weather. I want the beach. I need the and we come back.
Sure. I can expect that from you. You are born in the UAE and you feel this country is your country, and you don't have any other country to say about. It's
Exactly,
your country. This is something what
exactly.
is. Actually, I feel it's the same thing with our kids.
Yes, and not only that, but I believe that anyone and everyone
Sure.
who comes to the UAE, who
Yes.
starts their
Yes.
business, like within just
They
a short
adapt.
period of time,
Yes.
they adapt, and they also consider that the UAE is their home country.
Yes.
I have
Sure.
seen many people coming investing in the UAE, and after like a year or two, and they just say, okay, I'm gonna stay my whole life in the UAE.
Yes. Actually,
So
I have a clients. They were not planning to come to live here. They were just planning to have a business because they have a huge potentials for developments and everything. Like they
yeah.
have companies in Europe, and they wanted to extend their business in the Middle East, and after like only 2 months, they decided to come to live in the UAE because they love UAE lifestyle and everything, and they are here now with all their families, like living in the UAE.
Wow. And now talking about the investments and the company setups. Now, most of us know that there, since the beginning of the year, many things in law have been changed. Things are becoming maybe easier, maybe more difficult. I don't know. You are the expert about the laws. So, what can you tell? What are the changes that happened for investors and company setups in the law? Are things getting more flexible, more easy, or
Actually, when we say, I can say yes, yes. When we come up to the company setup, mostly investors are coming for company setup, like and extending their businesses, and buying properties. This is something what is like investment in real estate. When we come up to the law, the last changes, they made them to make a life easier, especially for expats and for investors to feel safe in the country, and to feel as a part of this community. I can say only good words about the changes in the law, especially in company setup for mainland companies. When we have now a lot of like most of activities, you don't need to have local business sponsors, service agents, or partners. Some of the like crucial activities important for UAE economy, like oil and gas or something like this, similar. They have to be like a partners, 51% local partners. But for others, like most of them, they can experts can proceed with 100% ownership. This is what experts were expecting in the UAE for years, and the benefit actually is, I can say, benefit of changes. I can say January 2020 changes are the prices for
in
companies set up.
2022?
Sorry, 20, because I'm thinking about Expo
We are,
2020.
yes.
Actually,
Everything is
I'm just
going around
confused. Yes.
2020.
Actually, January 2022, actually, that prices for company setup are down. I can imagine. I can remember the time when I came 16 years ago in the UAE. You could just dream about to have a company, and you just have to think about millions like to invest. And it was for me like, oh my God, like I have to go on the top of Mount Everest because I know I cannot do it, and it's like something what was really dream, I can say, for expats, most of the expats. Nowadays we have options that most of the expats are looking for, options like those that they were living here in the UAE, and those they are coming new, they are looking to invest, like to do like I can say their own businesses, and most of them, they are not looking for employment because they see that most of the benefits are coming for them. I hope so. It will not be a problem later on to find good employee because they are going to manage their own companies. But it's really something what you can notice in last. I can call it as a post pandemic period, and they woke up after this and they started to
So
look
things are
options.
moving up in a positive way
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah, sure. This is something what is really, I can say, really positive, and a lot of young people with a lot of ideas, a lot of people, like I can say, experienced people with some strong knowledge and ideas at all. Like they make somehow. I can say economy of the UAE going up.
Great.
And of
And
course with the support of government of UAE, because this is without them this cannot happen.
yeah, yeah. And tell me, is this like the same for all, not only for investors? So it's for investors, entrepreneurs, even freelancers, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Because we were talking all mostly about investors.
Of
So
course, like, and to be investor is like you can be investor in many ways. Like you can invest, but I'm saying what mostly people are investing in the UAE, like business extending company setups, like investments in their businesses and investment in a real estate. This is what is like most of the investment you can see here.
and how do you see the interest when it comes to company setup? Do investors prefer opening in the mainland or opening in the free zones? And why do they choose mainland or the free zone? And in your opinion, what do you advise to do? I mean, for investors coming from abroad?
Actually, we can say pre-COVID. And before the changing of the laws in 2020, January 2022, we had a huge demand for free zone company setup. I can say this demand is also currently available. I mean, it's the same, but since they changed the options, government changed the options that they can, expats can have a 100% ownership in mainland companies. We have a big demand for mainland company setup as well. What I advise for experts to run, it's different, like, because different on the request of client. Usually, I advise them to go if they do like work with the companies abroad and all these things, like if they export import, depends on the activity they do and
Okay.
business they do. I advise the place where they can open a company.
What about doing business within the UAE? Because I heard many, let's say, maybe for me it's a rumor that companies in the free zones are only allowed to work outside the UAE and
And
not in,
free zone
and not
and inside that free
and
zone.
not
Yeah, I
yes,
know many
inside that
people are.
free zone, but not inside the UAE.
No, actually, companies in free zone can work business to business inside the UAE as well.
So, for example, if now I have a company in the free zone, okay, and I want to deal with an entity in the mainland, I can directly do it through them.
Sure.
But I'm not allowed to do work directly with end users, right?
Yes. Yes, this is like I can say exclusivity for mainland companies. And if you are going to do like a business inside the UAE, it's advised like to do it with the mainland company.
Okay,
Like
but
I
but
can
what
say,
what if, for example, I'm importing products to the UAE, but I want to sell them in the UAE and outside of the UAE, but I would like to have a free zone company because it's easier for me, like to have a hub in the free zone to operate in both ways.
yeah, actually, you can have distributors in the mainland. You can sign agreement with distributors and give them the right to distribute your products inside the mainland.
So the way again, it's to deal B2B
Yes,
with someone inside the
inside the main,
mainland
yes,
who will be selling those
those
products to
products.
the end users.
Yes,
So it's not that you will be sending them to the end users.
yes.
Many people knows you as an expert for company setup and opening businesses and helping them and consulting them legally. From what countries are most of the investors coming?
In the UAE, they come all over the world. Um, I just concentrate on regionally on European investors because this is my I can say part of the world I know how to handle.
Okay, and do you see that there is a big potential of investors from Europe investing in the UAE?
Yes, yes, there is, and I actually I can say that it grows daily. And I get a huge number of requests for company setup, and people they really do their businesses and they really work.
And in what industries are mainly people searching for?
Depends. You have trading. It's for example, I have a client fiber optic cables trading, export import. I have a clients for life coaching. I have a clients for real estate companies.
So it's all
Different
mixed,
kind of
yeah,
like it's I cannot say
different industries.
I cannot say it's only one part. It's totally different, and I always I can say find the examples. I just get surprised what kind of activities people are searching for. Like it's really interesting.
Jumping from the investors, SMBs, entrepreneurs, what about freelancers? Because I do see that the UAE is an excellent hub and excellent opportunity for freelancers to come to do their work globally from the UAE, to stay, live, and work in the UAE. So what do you have? What can you tell us about that?
Yes, after the pandemic, we have a huge number of people. They are coming as a freelancers, and they actually live in the UAE and they work for companies abroad. We have also people they work for companies inside the UAE, like personal trainers, because they provide services for clients or something like this. But most of them they work for companies abroad. Like I can say, IT specialists and software. Programmers or something like this it's something what gives them opportunity for nice and good lifestyle and opportunities to earn money from abroad.
And is it affordable for them as freelancers? Maybe they are single to live in the UAE.
Yes, they found it. They found it very affordable. I have clients when they came. If I say something like this, when they came to set up like a freelance license, I can say they didn't have money to. It was like very difficult for them to pay for the license. When it comes time to renewal for that license, they told me, you cannot imagine. I earn a lot of money, and I'm so proud. I will just extend it for 3 years. Can you
Oh,
imagine?
really?
Yes, and they didn't have the money to establish it to obtain license for 1 year. It was very difficult. I remember like the time, and it is. I'm so happy that they were successful and they really enjoy their life here, and they have a lot of work.
And did you have any case that a client after 1 year asked asked you about the process of shutting off the company?
Actually, no. I had only one case because of the established company. Only one case is in huge number of cases. I mean, companies that did company setup. It was only one case that he did company setup just before COVID closure pandemic, and he couldn't come back to make his residency visa, and it was big problem, and it passed around 1 year and a half, something
I
like that.
mean,
He
okay,
was able,
but that was
but
because of unforeseen
yes,
reasons,
yes.
because of the
The
lockdown
rest of the
and so
companies,
on. Okay,
yes,
but what about the rest of the companies? So the
all of them
companies
did.
that opened 2 years, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, license, they are still functioning.
Yes, they are
Wh-
still working.
Okay, which means that it is indeed, this is like a clear proof that starting up a company in the UAE, even from zero,
Yes.
will open up for you opportunities for the future.
The only thing is that you are brave enough to make first step. and that you are brave enough to look for to grab opportunities. If you don't catch it on the time, like always, you have to be awake to grab it. And this is what I learned from entrepreneurship experience and my clients' experience. Actually, we have to be awake 24 hours for
Definitely,
for the
definitely.
things.
I had something a similar talk with Fadi from Highlander in one of the podcast series that where we were discussing if you don't take the risk, you will never succeed,
Of course.
and you will
You
never
will
know.
never know that you can do it,
And
of course.
don't be afraid of making mistakes because from your mistakes you're gonna learn a lot, and you're gonna go to the top.
I'm also proud that I had a companies I established for clients during the COVID. During the COVID, can you imagine?
Wow.
Like they are still working. They are very successful, and I'm proud of this kind of clients really because they were really big fighter on that time. Like to get clients, and it was somehow difficult period, but thanks God, like I can say only positive things, and for all my clients, and I can say somehow for economy in the UAE of the UAE, it's something what I really I'm it's the time that all people have to think to come to live here if there is a place for all of all of them really and invest in the UAE.
I know that your clients are very lucky.
Why?
Well, because not only that you help them with their company setup, but you are truly showing them the path, and you are guiding them. So it's not only from the legal and from the paperwork, but it's also like I believe guiding them in their business plans, in their and what to do. Is that right?
Yes, actually, you know very well because I don't sleep if I have issue, like if my clients have issues. I'm trying to support companies. Actually, I consider these companies that I established like my babies. Even they are not my companies, but their success is my success. And I'm trying somehow to help them to avoid issues. And if they have issues, how to move out from these kind of issues and how to sort out problems. It's like I just want to show them that, for example, we have a clients that are coming, they're new, they're coming from abroad, and they have problem, and they don't know how to sort it out in the UAE. They don't have anyone here to support them. And I don't want them to say, I don't like living here in the UAE, because they don't know where to go, how to go. Uh, I just want to show them that there is easy a way to sort it out and to make them life easier and better here. Because as I said, their success is my success. And if they are happy, of course, they will bring much more people to the UAE, and they will bring much more clients to me. Because actually, I'm the person. Somehow, thanks God, I can say I'm lucky person. My clients are coming to me only by word of mouth, and if I'm coming in social media, this is not kind of advertisement. I just want to show my clients that I'm here for them, and I'm here to support them, not to advertise. And they know very well because I'm saying like all my clients came to me only by word of mouth, and I'm so happy because I will never leave them on the half of the way. I'm just going together with them on that way.
Till the end and beyond that.
And beyond that,
So
of
so it's
course,
not so
with
it's,
my
it
possibilities, of
doesn't
course.
stop after the company set
Yes,
up and getting the
yes.
license and everything.
Yes, this is the way what I do, like, and this is actually idea of our business, I can say somehow, to have all-in-one solution, a business solution for our company. Because they, if especially for investors, they are coming new to UAE. We can provide for them a lot of services that they need to settle their business and to trust someone. I can say somehow really I'm happy that they trust us and they allow us to show them the way how to do it.
So the way I think of it is like we are happy when those people are actually joining the family.
Yes. Yes, they are
I
like,
consider European Elite Business Hub as a family, where investors and anyone, not only investors, entrepreneurs, even SMBs, even companies that are already existing and in business, they can find always something that will help them grow faster and grow their business. The way we do it, why do we say, I think, all in one business setup? It's because we start from setting up the company, from the paperwork that you do, from the
yes.
legal side, and then marketing that business through digital
Yes, of
marketing.
course. Now I will make podcast for you.
It's fine. Through I mean, the different channels, and the third part, which comes after the marketing, is the
It's the
networking
networking.
through
Yes.
through the Hub2Connect
Connect platform.
events, through the Hub2Connect new podcast,
Yes.
and
And our platform.
and the online platform. And that's why European Elite Business Hub is known as a family.
Yes, actually, it's family. And I consider, and I'm so happy, like we are always for clients. When they contact us, if we are not ready in 1 hour, we will reply to them. This is what people need, actually. They call me because they need me. And I consider it, I have to reply to them. I'm usually not waiting for tomorrow. I'm doing it now.
I know. I heard the conversation 2 days ago, where someone was saying, "Oh my God, I received the reply at 3 a.m." So
Yes, actually, they ask me usually when you are sleeping. Like,
okay,
actually, I'm trying to do, or we have our employees, like we have people, like we have our team, they support our work and our ideas, and they are great people. And I will thank to them, they support us. But it's not enough, and we have to extend. Immediately, but somehow, if something is urgent, it has to be done tomorrow morning. I cannot rely on people. I cannot keep them awake to finish it off. I will do it myself. I'm always like, I'm not running away from work, and this is, I love to be busy, and this is something giving me like options. Even now, I decided not to be awake, and I decided up to maybe 3 4 a.m., something like this, not to work. But okay, I started to do it, but I cannot sleep. And what is better for me, if I cannot sleep, let me take and work. I mean, this is the benefit.
great, but you have to start sleeping. Anyways,
Inshallah.
okay, I'll just to bring almost this podcast and this episode to an end. I
Okay.
just have one last question, which is uh, searched by many investors. What about the banking process, opening a bank account for people and investors that are first time coming to the EU, actually like starting their first residence visa and their license and so on? What is the process?
Actually, nowadays it came a bit, I can say, difficult to talk about bank accounts opening because we have a lot of security checkups in the UAE, because UAE is country that they follow like a money laundering processes, and they don't want to grow this kind of crime in the UAE. They want to stop it, and as much as it's possible. And with the bank account openings, like especially for people, they are new in the UAE. It's their first business here and their first residency visa. They do like security checkups. For the clients, like they're coming new. It's a bit difficult to open bank account nowadays, and it takes maybe 20 working days to open a bank account. They have to obtain all documents that banks request from them, and it's something what is like I can say it's a difficult, but it will be at the real end. It will be done.
Now, for those people who are coming here, because many of them are busy already with their businesses out of the UAE. So for them, during the process of setting up the company, what is the period that they have to stay in the UAE until they get the license, they get the visa, and the bank account?
Actually, they don't need to come to UAE if they are establishing a free zone license. They can be in their countries while we are doing all the job for company establishment. Before I can say pre-licensing
Okay, so
process.
does that mean that they can get the entry permit while they are outside?
Yeah, I'll just come up to that.
Okay.
And they actually, we will do like all process and signing. It can be online and signing of the documents. And after they obtain a license, they have to enter to UAE to get residency visa. Because to get bank account in the UAE, you have to have a residency visa. We can do entry permit for them while they are in their country before they enter to UAE. And it will take like 5 working days. We save up to 5 working days. We save that they don't stay here. And then I'm always saying, like, I cannot say approximately around 20 days, 20 working days for visa obtaining. We can do sometimes very fast, but I cannot promise anyone. Sometimes happened like a mistake in the system or something like this, and then we have to postpone the period. This is like I can say approximately time that is needed for residency visa. Bank account opening is around 20 working days, and more. Depends on the client. I know, but when it's like documents that client submitted for the bank account opening.
So then it's better to do it stage by stage. Like
Yes.
the first thing to do is just concentrate on the opening the company, doing the
Yes.
license, getting the
Yes.
residency visa, and then do a process for starting the
Yes,
opening.
actually,
the
because of all the security process, before we could do it like a faster. Sometimes in 2-3 working days we get a license. Nowadays, because we have a security pre-approval and checkup for the license of company setup, then it's like now I can say 10 working days for license. In free zone. In mainland, if they establish company in mainland, they have to come here to the UAE and start with the process, signing in the notary public documents and all other things like needed for license.
Great. And what advice do you have for investors who would like to come to the UAE and start up companies for investors? I mean, when I say investors, I mean everyone, not only investors, entrepreneurs.
Yeah, all people, they want to do business in the UAE. I can call it like this. It's something.
Any advice from
Yes.
your side that you would like to share with us?
First of all, do not hesitate to try. The second thing is like when they establish company, I advise them to do it like not for 1 year license valid. They supposed to do it 2 or 3 years, because when you start with a business, 1 year is not enough to I can say
so
settle.
you can obtain a license for 3 years. A
Yes,
3-year
in
license.
free zones, yes.
Or
you
a 5-year
can, 5
license.
years. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is possible nowadays. Before it was not possible. Nowadays, yes. And the main thing is like many people, actually investors, like people who wants to do business in the UAE, they have to know, for example, from most of European countries, when you establish company, you don't need to renew your license. It's up to the. It's a valid up to the moment you
Close the company.
and you supply. You obtain financial report every year, as per the law in the country.
Financial and auditing report,
auditing report. Yes, and the annual report. In the UAE, it's different. You have to renew. If you take 1 year license, you have to renew it every year. And this is what I usually advise for the people they are coming and they want to establish business. It's much easier. They will just feel much better if they take it for 2 or 3 years, because year is coming very fast, and I know as per my clients nowadays, like when they get reminder 60 days is to expire your license, renew it please on time, saying, oh my God, a year already passed. It's something what is like a, I can say barrier in it's in the mind, like that they
I know
it's
one year is passing very, very
very
fast.
fast. Yes.
I know.
Yes. And this is something what is like very important for them to know. Like license is not
You
like
start a
an
company, you establish it, and then you're happy. Yes, I
yes, I
started,
started first job. Yes.
once you really start doing that business,
Yes. This is something what
that 1 year is ending, and then you have again
sure.
to do all the procedures for the
Renewal.
renewal. Yeah,
It's not difficult procedure, but it's a procedure, and
okay.
actually somehow you don't need it in that
But
first period.
it's much less headache
Yes.
to go immediately with a 3 year
Yes.
license,
Yes.
and like at least you can do that plan for a 3 year
Yes.
plan, 3 year strategy,
Yes.
whether it's marketing strategy, whether
It's much better for
okay.
clients.
Great. Thank you very much for being my guest
You're
today.
welcome. I hope so. I was good guest.
Yes, definitely. The most important thing, my goal from those podcasts is to give valuable information to our audience, to anyone watching our channel, to anyone watching our videos. I'm inviting all the time guests who are willing to do that, and for now those podcasts are really free of charge. I mean, we have invested a lot in the equipment,
Yes, I know.
but my goal is to give something to the community, to give something
As
valuable,
always.
and to help people grow their business. And what's more important is to keep everyone positive and happy.
Yes, of course. And I just want to thank you because you invited me. I was expecting this invitation somehow.
I should have
I'm
sent you a
curious.
written invitation. Yeah.
Next time, please, with a topic like and points like and questions. Now we didn't have a questions and anything, like we just had a normal talk like at home.
Anyways, I will be leaving the Mersiha's contacts down below, whether this is Facebook, YouTube, or whatever platform. You will either find it in the comments or you will find it in the captions. So once again, thank you, Mersiha, very much.
You're most welcome, and thank you very much for the invitation. And thanks to all and my clients and all people that trust me. I'm always here for you, and like you can contact me anytime.
Thank you very much. Guys, stay tuned and see you in the next episode.